Yo, what is up everybody? It's Jay the Great here. Welcome back to another Boruto related video. As you can tell by the title, this is a spoiler slash leak discussion, so spoiler alert for what is to come. Obviously, we're going to be discussing and basically reading through Chapter 4 of Boruto TBV Vortex. Just to note some things, this is a French translation, as the official translation, as you guys could tell here, has not been released yet, still coming. It's still to come in 4 days approximately. So I'm sort of going to be skimming through and giving my thoughts on the narrative and what it entails of. So this is OP Scans, by the way, again, a French translation, not an official translation. So keep that in mind. It may vary from the official one. I don't think it will vary too much. OP Scans fan translations seem to be pretty accurate in most cases and most of the time, but again, this isn't the official translation. But to get straight to it, we have Chapter 4. We have Kawaki here on the front page of Chapter 4, and we have the title, The Accumulated Vortex of Hatred. A very interesting title indeed for this chapter. Maybe foreshadowing of what's to come, right? So overall, I like the design here. It's a simple design. It seems like the illustrators didn't want to make the cover page too, I guess, eye-opening. They wanted to keep it simple. I'm sure they have the reasons for that. It's nothing amazing. It's not bad. It's just a simple cover page to set up the chapter, right? So here we go. These are the credits for the OP Scans individual. Shout out to them for the translations and things like that. So here we are. We jump to code, I believe. It seems to be a Ten-Tails clone being restrained by rods, by chakra rods. Try to skim through it here. These are different now because you have transformed them. Get rid of them while they are under your control, or else you will end up in the worst future for everyone. So he's sort of remembering what Boruto told him when he was in Konoha, because as we know, he retreated back to what appears to be his base. This thing only has the instinct to eat. How is this a threat? Okay, so he's sort of trying to deduce what Boruto meant by this. Retreating because of Boruto's ninjutsu. Code went back to where the Ten-Tails is, and hurry up, Boruto. We have no time left. Can you be quiet a little? I'm not skillful like my grandpa. So I've seen this already famous panel being distributed amongst social media, right? Sort of him paying homage to his grandfather, Minato Namikaze, which is very cool, which is obviously foreshadowing a certain ability, which I'm sure we're going to see in a second here. We have a confrontation between Kawaki and Boruto. Boruto, who's talking? Who's he talking to? Who's he talking with? By the way, folks, this is a spoiler discussion. When the official translation comes out, I'm going to do an actual review of the chapter and more in depth, by the way, just to keep you guys in the loop here. So he says, found it. It seems from this small interaction and sort of event, Boruto was able to triangulate Code's position. It seems that that's what he's doing here. He says, found it, right? So he jumps and uses Flying Thunder God technique. Wow. Wow. So the rumors are true. Boruto is able to utilize an ability that his grandfather was able to utilize and was sort of glorified for and very respected for, right? The Flying Thunder God technique. And that obviously explains this statement, right? I'm not skillful like my grandpa. Now I'm going to get more into depth on what exactly that means in the review, right? When the official translation comes out as far as what he means by this. But this is what I'll say in layman's terms, and this is sort of a setup for what I will be saying more in depth when the review comes out. What I believe he means by this, looking at this straight off the cuff, this is the first time I see this, by the way, is not that his grandfather had quicker reaction times or quicker neurotransmitters, because that would completely contradict the power cliffing of Boruto, but I believe his proficiency in executing the ability isn't the level of his grandpa. You could also deduce that he's just simply paying respect, and you could also deduce rationally that he never saw his grandfather use it, and he is simply paying respects to his grandfather because of the lore he has come to know of his grandfather, right? You could also say that this doesn't necessarily indicate that Minato Namikaze has quicker neurotransmitters than Boruto, who is blatantly at Tsutsuki plus level, while conversely Minato you know, struggle with Jubito, who's not even on Otsutsuki level, not even low tier. So you can deduce rationally that the most likely conclusions you can make here based off this statement is either he's not as skillful at utilizing the actual ability, and not that his neurotransmitters are inferior to his grandfather, but again, rather that he's not as skillful at using it, or you could simply deduce that he's simply paying respects because he is presupposing that his grandfather was even faster than himself in utilizing this ability, right? And that doesn't necessarily prove that he was faster, because again, the power cliffing contradicts the likelihood of that, or severely diminishes the probability that that's the case, right? So that's what I think of that, but I'll get more in depth in the review. So he jumps here to the base. Code is shocked by his presence, and here we are back to another altercation between these two, right? Boruto, how did you? So he's shocked by it, by the ability of Boruto to triangulate him and also follow him to this location. Again, just further illustrating Boruto's capabilities and skill, right? So continue on here. Hey, where's the Tentos? Impossible. It was certainly here just a moment ago. So the Tentos has vanished. Interesting. Let's continue on. It's hard to think Code transported Tentos. There wasn't any suspicious moves. He shouldn't have much ease to do it. Okay. This Toad is... Okay, there's a new individual here with Renegons implanted in his eye sockets, as we could tell. Seems like a Tentos clone. I can't tell, though. Damn. We were late. Bug. So this guy's name is Bug. Okay. You're talking about that guy that's behind it. That's being a tree behind. Is that Bug that you're talking about? This is not Bug. Now, what we are encountering is Shinju. Okay, so this guy's name is Shinju. Seems to be correlated possibly to Shinjutsu. Right? Maybe that's why he's his name. Maybe this individual possesses Shinjutsu. I'm just predicting. What are you saying? So this individual attempts to blitz Boruto, and he succeeds. Very, very interesting, right? Because if you look at the altercation between Code and Boruto, there seemed to be no competition. Right? You could argue it was ended quickly because of Boruto's resolve and very swift action with the new Rasengan Uzuhiko variation. You could argue that, but it seemed he had the upper hand very confidently against Code. But this individual, conversely, does this. This is the first time I see Boruto pressed in any way since the time skip, by the way. So he's clashing with him. Coming here on your own. You came to be feasted, Otsutsuki Boruto. Okay. Alright, so we jump here. Interesting ability. Seems to be some sort of consumption ability. Kind of consumes him. I believe he used Flying Raijin to get away from that. Interesting. That's some sneaky jutsu. Very quick reaction time, by the way. You know, that's not a very large window of time. That time interval is quite small, and we saw what he was able to do here. Right, so Boruto reacted to that. It's a speed feat. You know, very, very impressive. Some sneaky jutsu. What's going on? Explain it to me. Okay. Boruto is once again sort of pushing Code around. Not surprised at this point. Seems like a very common occurrence. Stand up. I deactivated Uzuhiko. Okay, so you deactivated the ability. Prepare for the enemy's attack. I don't have time to explain. If you don't want to die, shut up and support me. Okay. What happened to Tentos? Does it have something to do with Bug that was eaten by the tree? It's not only Bug, all the others, everyone that turned into a tree is involved to this. It's chakra. Okay, so this individual is responding to these guys' questions and concerns. The lives on this planet, the lives that perished, that lived on this planet. It sucks in all chakra. The lives have we Shinju make a chakra fruit. That was originally our instinct. But Code, it seems like we degenerated a bit from being awakened by you. So these individuals were awakened by Code. That's what obviously is being presented here. Us having ego. Ego. Interesting statement. How pity Code, thinking back. You're always like that despite your will. Your destiny is to be a clown being used by someone at a laughable extent. Interesting. They're kind of mocking him. They don't seem to be very grateful that he was the one that awakened them. They seem to look down upon him, perhaps substantiating that they're perhaps above him, which is sort of substantiated by, this one guy here, whatever his name is, Bug, doing what he did to Boruto, and Boruto having his success against Code. It seems likely that these individuals are superior to Code. Again, not provable, but it seems like that currently. This is not good. Boruto, get back. We have to rebuild our formation. All right, so the Sage Toad is having his conversations. Okay, so we jump to Konoha. He certainly disappeared. You're saying that he can already use space-time jutsu. Who knows? I don't know how he did it, but Boruto disappeared after Code ran away. It seems like he was tracking him. Are you saying the purpose Boruto came to the Hidden Leaf today is because Code was his target? Is it possible that Code and Boruto are connected? Before Boruto disappeared, it seems like he had a conversation with someone. Don't tell me that it's someone from the detecting team. All right, so they're not aware of the Sage Toads, obviously. Other reports from the detecting team is currently under an inspection. If someone is actually supporting Boruto, we will instantly know. How stupid. Things are more simple than that. Code ambushed the Hidden Leaf. Boruto forced him to retreat. From the conversations that they had, it's so obvious. You can confirm this with Ida. Sarada, don't misunderstand things. Boruto is a Otsutsuki. It doesn't matter what his purpose is. He's an enemy. We gotta kill him because he is an Otsutsuki. So it's very clear that Kawaki is still very adamant on exterminating the Otsutsuki. He is prioritizing that goal over perhaps any remorse or attachment he has to Boruto as a brother, right? As they referred to each other in the past. It's very obvious that his goal overrides any care he has for Boruto. So it's very, very telling here. You're also the same. What are you saying? It's something that I don't have to say, but I'm an Otsutsuki that kills them. You see, my power only exists to kill them. Alright, so Sarada's argument is you are the same as him, but yet you're claiming you have to exterminate them. His justification is, yes, but I use my power to kill them, and sort of implying that all the other Otsutsuki are sort of condemned while he isn't. That's basically what he's saying. If the jobs are done, I'll be happy to disappear, but you don't get to choose, you understand, don't you? Don't make me repeat. I won't let you do as you like here as a ninja that aims to become Hokage. Okay? You guys settle it down before I get pissed off as a Hokage in charge right now. It's funny because there's nothing you could do against Kawaki, but okay. About the tree, which is a damage from claw grime. That's what's this all about? Are they trying to make a forest? I don't know, but at least the people that turned into a tree are still alive. They might be okay. From the way he spoke, it's just my impression, but Boruto probably knows something about it. The reason why he is after Code is because that is the purpose. He's questioning it. Okay. Regardless of Boruto's purpose, it is certain that he is an enemy for Code. For now, since Code is a threat to the Hidden Leaf, we should support Boruto and defeat Code. So she's still trying to, any way possible, convince Shikamaru and by extension the Leaf to support Boruto. Right? So we jump to these individuals here, these new villains, if you will. They seem like Ten-Tail-based creations, just based off their attire, but based off especially this guy. He kind of resembles a Ten-Tails clone. Let's see what happens here. Is Shinju with ego. Okay. What are you doing, Boruto? You failed to ambush. Hurry up and run. Okay. Whoa, what is that? That appears to look like Sasuke. That is very interesting. Okay. And he's using Chidori. Wow, that's very, very eye-opening. I'm very intrigued now. He's using a Rasengan against Sasuke? Wow. Wow, that's insane, I must say. That's insane. Okay, so he's getting pressed by several of these, I guess they call themselves Shinju with ego. Okay. I believe that's their name. Wow. Very, very interesting events taking place right now. Boruto. Okay, so he's getting pressed by these individuals. They're all kind of going at him at once. Code, give me a hand. You're also going to be killed. Even if I don't do anything, they're on their own. They, on their own, are trying to be a complete Shinju by eating you. Okay? This is out of the blue, but not bad. Feels like one of the burdens on my shoulder is gone. So, Koda's okay with him handling him. Boruto tried to convince him to aid him. He's probably presupposing that they're going against the desires of Code. Code is saying, okay, they're kind of doing the work for me, so I'm leaving. Code, damn it, Boruto, enough, run from here as soon as possible. If you die, everything will be a waste. Okay. Damn. So it seems Sasuke, he looks like Sasuke, right? He uses Chidori like Sasuke. It seems like Sasuke has been taken over. If we're correct on the identification of this individual, right? It seems like it's Sasuke, right? The hair, the Chidori. It's very interesting. I would also argue he's probably amped because he has a Rinnegan here. As we all know, he lost his Rinnegan to Boroshiki previously, so he's most likely being amped by, I'm presupposing, the Ten Tails chakra. You were lucky, Boruto, or you guys just awakened. The curiosity and desire for knowledge flowing out is still surpassing our instincts of eating you. So I'm starting to get the notion that ego works against these Shinju, right? Because they have instinct, right, of the Ten Tails based off this statement, right? They have the instinct of wanting to eat chakra and eat individuals to further gain power. But they have an ego as well, which distinguishes them from just a purely primal Ten Tails, right? Almost like it humanizes them. And they're aware that it's a deterrent to their instincts, as this guy says, and it actually surpasses their instincts. The way I think of the concept of ego in this instance concerning these individuals is sort of a higher mind, right? A higher level functioning mind within these individuals that surpasses their instincts again, right? So it's very interesting. Flee whether you like, wherever you are in this world. You can't get away from us. You can't get away from your destiny. Okay, so it jumps. It seems Boruto has escaped. Very interesting. You want to instantly destroy this planet? Don't push yourself like that ever again. Sorry, I rushed. And now, just like I've predicted, and many have, it's sort of confirmed who has been Boruto's mentor, right? Kashin Koji. Very, very telling. I'm not trying to calm you down, but you should have known that this was going to happen at a high probability. What we are going to do doesn't change. We're going to fight, okay? Sorry, I need you to wait a little more. Okay. Suddenly a new threat appeared. Sasuke. Okay. So this is Sasuke. Okay, let me see. On the side here it says the big change and what happened after is being revealed. Okay, so I'm presupposing that we're going to get some insight on what has occurred with Sasuke. We're seeing him here, obviously. There you guys have it. That's the end of the chapter. I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait a little longer, Uncle Sasuke. Okay, so he seems aware of this? Like he's aware of Sasuke's situation? Very interesting. Alright, so there you guys have it. That's the chapter. Now, something I wanted to discuss, and I'm going to discuss further in depth in the review when the official translation and chapter comes out on Viz, is the indication that the flying Raijin is interdimensional, right? Because as we know, this location Sasuke teleported to long ago, or at least it seems like such, right? Where he found like a juvenile Ten Tails long ago. Boruto did the same with flying Raijin, right? He doesn't have a Rinnegan or a Rene Sharingan to teleport interdimensionally. So what this confirms is at the very least that Boruto's variation of the Flying Thunder God is interdimensional. He can teleport interdimensionally with this ability, right? Which is very impressive. You could argue that Minato is capable of this as well if you use the logic that because Boruto said earlier, hey, I'm not as skilled as my grandfather, it substantiates the premise that Minato could have done the same, right? He could have teleported interdimensionally as well. Now, do I think that's the case? More than likely, because there's nothing to contradict it. But a very logical refutation would be the reason why Boruto can use it interdimensionally is because he has Otsutsuki DNA in his very cells and his very DNA, right? That's a fair substantiation. But that's what I'll say about that. I don't want to get too in-depth on that. I'm going to get very in-depth on it in the review. So stay tuned for that. But what I think of the chapter is, again, honestly, this probably exceeded my expectations. And I didn't even have low expectations coming into this. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex has been very, very eventful so far, and this one was very action-packed. This chapter, rather, was very action-packed, very revealing to us, right? Where there's new villains, which apparently are called Shinju, I think. We have this sort of Sasuke-looking villain here, and then we learn at the end that Sasuke's stuck in this tree, right? And that Boruto is saying, not yet, like he can't save him yet, maybe that's what he's implying. He can't save Sasuke yet from what appears to be his, obviously, sort of incarceration, if you will, with this tree. Maybe his power is being, a theory I have is his power is being transplanted to that Sasuke-looking thing that we see earlier, right? Plus the addition of the Ten Tails power, because obviously, as we know, at least from prior to the plot twist, Sasuke didn't have a Rinnegan or a Rinne Sharingan. So it seems to be Sasuke's power plus Ten Tails power, if I had to guess, or if I had to predict. So that's sort of my theory on that. But overall, this chapter was great. Very good, honestly. Solid, at least 9 out of 10. You can make the argument 9.5. I really have no critiques, to be honest. I really have no critiques. I like the pace. I like that the writers got straight to business. The illustrations are pretty good. Again, we're going to have to see the full original chapter in 4 days, and we'll do a review on that, more in depth and things like that. But I really enjoyed this chapter, and it's setting up a lot of things. A lot of things were revealed here, a lot of aspects that we had questions on, including myself, have been answered. What's happening to Sasuke? What's happened to Sasuke has been answered. The very highly theorized, the very popular theory that Kaji Koshin is still around has been answered, right? He is, and more than likely he trained Boruto on how to use nature energy and sort of formulate sage chakra to his benefit, right? So very telling, very cool. It kind of seems almost like Kishimoto and company are aware of what the people want. Honestly, I think these marketers, these writers, they're very intelligent, and maybe they've heard our critiques via social media, and maybe they're deducing, hey, let's give the people what they want to see. Let's do it the right way, right? And it seems like that's the case currently. Very, very well done. As far as power scaling, I would deduce that these individuals are above code. They had more success against Naruto, to the point where even the toad that was accompanying Naruto said, you have to get out of here, you're going to die, implying that these individuals are capable of killing Naruto, at least conjunctively, while conversely, Code couldn't even touch Boruto and Konoha, right? So these beings, these entities, are obviously very capable, and they're sentient, right? They have rational minds, and they describe their ego as something they actually don't like. They don't like the fact that they have this sort of higher intellectual capability, right? They want to complete their goals with their primal instincts, but again, they have ego, right? And they say that Code awakened them. So I would have the theory that Code made sure that these individuals have a higher ability to rationalize and are not just primal ten-tail clones like the ones we appear to see, that we seemingly see in Konoha, right? The ten-tail clones that have been battled against by Chocho and Kawaki and things like, and individuals like that, right? So very interesting. It seems that Code has utilized the ten-tails to his benefit. Not only has he been able to make ten-tail clones in general that are primal in nature, but he's also been able to construct more advanced and seemingly powerful ten-tail clones that even have a rational mind of their own, to the point where they're sentient and have their own goals and are aware of their own goals, right? It's not just pure instinct, as described by one of these entities earlier. So very telling, very good chapter. I'm very, very pleased with where the narrative is heading. But I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, I didn't want this to be too long. We're already I'm assuming about 20 minutes in or so. If you guys enjoy this type of leak discussion in this format, make sure to get this video to 30 plus likes. It seems you guys have enjoyed the Boruto related content, and as long as you guys enjoy it, I will continue to deliver to the best of my ability. I really appreciate the support. But I think that's going to wrap it up. To summarize, once again, Boruto is just even more impressive and is only getting more and more impressive. He has interdimensional flying Raijin. He's above code. He has the ability to use nature energy to his advantage, even interdimensionally, right? Because he was able to triangulate Code's position interdimensionally, by the way. That's very impressive, and I'm just blown away by that. Boruto is a hell of a shinobi, obviously, and these entities, the Shinju, whatever you want to call them, are very impressive as well. Sasuke's revealment, very well done. But yeah, folks, overall, solid chapter. And that's going to wrap it up. Again, get this video to 30 plus likes. I'll do more of these, more reviews, more Boruto related content, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Jay the Great signing out. Peace.